Let me ask you something. What's the one thing you're most afraid of losing? For older women, it's rarely money, or even space, it's memories. And here's the truth. The number one decluttering regret women over 70 share isn't about the clutter they kept. It's about the things they let go of too soon. Things that carried pieces of their story. Things they can never get back. Stay with me until the very end, because I'll not only show you what this regret is, I'll also share the science, the stories, and the gentle strategies that will help you avoid it. And you'll hear the story of a woman named Ruth, who nearly lost herself in the process. Her lesson might just save you from making the same mistake. Ruth is 74 years old. A retired librarian, widowed for nearly a decade, and the kind of woman who always found joy in the written word. Her home was filled with books, letters, and journals she had written over the years. Each one felt like a chapter of her life. One day, her daughter gently suggested that it was time to lighten her load. Ruth looked around and felt a sudden weight. Yes, the clutter was overwhelming. Closets full, boxes stacked, papers everywhere. So she decided to act. In one weekend, she packed up dozens of boxes, her late husband's books, old photographs she hadn't looked at in years, journals from her younger days. She donated them, thinking she was freeing herself. But when the dust settled, Ruth confessed something heartbreaking. She felt as though she had thrown away parts of her soul. What she expected to feel, relief, was replaced by grief. And that's where her regret began. Why does this happen? Why do so many older women regret decluttering later? It comes down to what psychologists call emotional attachment clutter. These aren't just objects. They're cues, anchors for our memories. A dress that reminds you of your wedding day. A journal that carries your younger voice. A book that still smells like the library you loved. When we part with these items too quickly, without reflection, we don't just lose the clutter. We lose the anchor. And that's why the regret runs so deep. Ruth told me, "I thought I was clearing things out. But I realized I was clearing away the evidence of my life." She didn't miss the space. She missed the meaning. Science explains what Ruth experienced. Studies in cognitive psychology show that memory recall is strongly linked to physical objects. That's why something as small as a photograph or a handwritten recipe can bring back a flood of memories. But here's the key. We don't need hundreds of items to hold on to memories. In fact, keeping too many dilutes their meaning. When everything is saved, nothing stands out. Researchers recommend what's called selective preservation. Keep one or two meaningful items that truly represent the memory, and release the rest. This way, your memories remain sharp and honored, without drowning in clutter. Ruth didn't know this. She thought she had to choose between keeping everything or letting it all go. That false choice is what created her regret. So let me say it clearly, the number one decluttering regret women over 70 share is this: letting go of sentimental items before they were ready. Not the broken blender. Not the old magazines. But the letters, the journals, the keepsakes. And here's the truth. Once they're gone, you can't undo it. The regret lingers because the loss feels permanent. Ruth said it best, "I didn't regret the clutter. I regretted the pieces of myself I lost with it." And that's the trap so many fall into. It's not clutter they miss. It's themselves. Now let's talk about how you can avoid this regret and declutter without losing yourself. 1. Start with neutral items. Don't begin with sentimental things. Clear expired food, broken gadgets, or duplicate kitchen tools. These give you small wins without emotional pain. 2. Use a pause box. For items you're unsure about, place them in a sealed box. Label it with today's date. If, after 6 months or a year, you haven't opened it, you'll know it's safe to let go. 3. Digitize memories. Technology can be a gift here. Scan letters, take photos of keepsakes, record yourself reading old journal entries. You preserve the memory without holding on to every single object. 4. Create a legacy collection. Instead of scattering keepsakes everywhere, gather your most meaningful items in one box or chest. Call it your memory box. Ruth eventually did this, and it gave her peace. 5. Set your own pace. Don't let children or well-meaning relatives pressure you into decluttering faster than you're ready. This is your story, your home, your pace. These steps ensure you're not just decluttering, you're protecting your memories while still creating space for peace. After her regret, Ruth changed her approach. With her daughter's help, she created a legacy box. Inside, she placed her husband's reading glasses, one journal she loved most, a favorite recipe card, and a wedding photo. Everything else, she scanned, shared with family, or let go of, slowly, carefully. This time, she felt lighter. Not because she cleared everything, but because she preserved what mattered most. She told me, "I don't feel like I threw my life away. I feel like I honored it." And the best part, she began sharing those memories with her grandchildren. Instead of boxes in an attic, she created moments at her kitchen table, reading stories from her journals. Her regret became her gift. Decluttering doesn't have to be about loss. It can be about clarity, freedom, and intention. Psychologists call this narrative preservation. When we choose the best symbols of our lives, we create a story we can pass on with dignity. And for seniors, that's one of the most powerful gifts, sharing not just possessions, but meaning. Ruth told me, "Now when I look around my home, I don't see clutter. I see my story, curated, loved, alive." That's the opposite of regret. That's peace. So here's what I want you to take with you. The clutter isn't your enemy. But rushing, or letting go before you're ready, that's what creates regret. Start small. Go slow. Protect your memories, but don't bury them in clutter. And tonight, here's your challenge. Choose one item that's weighing on you. Not the most sentimental, but something simple. Clear it. And notice how your heart feels tomorrow. Because decluttering done right doesn't steal your story, it helps you tell it more clearly. If Ruth's journey touched you, share this video with another woman who may need the same reminder. And don't forget to subscribe for more gentle guidance, stories, and steps to help you live lighter, freer, and with more peace.